Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back. If you're new here, welcome. It's great to have you. My name is Nick Maniscalco, and today we are going to be talking about my physical capabilities, my physical abilities and skills. If you're new here, it'd be awesome if you would subscribe. You guys, please like and comment below on what you guys think about this. So it all starts out. I could do a standing backflip 1 second, and then I couldn't even breathe the next second. January 27, 2008, I was in a car accident. Something hit the back of my skull and pushed it in about 4 inches in my brain, causing me to go into an instant coma. I was in a coma for 4 months, in the hospital for 8 months, and life has gone from there, and it's been interesting. The doctors told me, well, they told my parents that he might not ever talk again. He might not ever walk again. He might not be a normal human being. And that's only if he lives. They gave me a 50-50 chance of living. So, yeah, thank goodness that I came out on the better side of that 50%. At 50-50. Last episode I kind of talked to you guys about my talking, I think. I'll need to go back and check that out. Today we're going to be talking about my walking. And when I was in the hospital, I was in a wheelchair or something. My legs were always bent, and my tendons shrank in my legs. This hurt a lot when I was standing. I'd always crouch because I couldn't extend my legs fully. Over time I was able to get my right leg straightened out. My left leg would not straighten though. So I went in and they had to clip a part of the tendon so that they could lengthen my left leg all the way. So that's a good and bad thing. I don't know. But my left side of my body is weaker than my right side. It doesn't connect to my brain as well, I think. Like typing, my fingers, I can't really. Like my right hand, I'm able to do. I'm much more mobile, much more agile. My left hand my left side of my body is delayed. So I was in the hospital, my tendons shrank, I had surgeries, I had lots of different surgeries. But I was determined to walk. Before I left the hospital, they came up to me and handed me a magazine or a brochure, booklet or whatever. And it had all these wheelchairs, these electric wheelchairs. And they're like, you can choose any of them. Your insurance will pay. Your insurance is willing to pay for good ones. And I was like, but I'm gonna walk out of here. I totally believed that I was there till I walked. And that in my head, I couldn't go home without walking. So, I did get home without walking. I rode home in my wheelchair. So that Christmas, I decided, I was like, I'm determined to walk. I gotta change something up. So I was like, I'm gonna walk. So Christmas Day, I walked from my room out to the living room. It's about 20-30 feet. It took me an hour to walk that far. I spent 4.5 years in therapies, from physical therapy to occupational therapy, speech therapy, and many more that I don't even remember. September 4th of 2011, my brother gave me a birth. It was this card. It challenged me to walk 365 miles within 365 days. I could only walk in a walker. It wasn't anything pretty. But my brother challenged me. So I was like, oh, you did not. So I took that challenge, walking 365 miles within 365 days. The first mile took me roughly about 3 hours. So that I was like thinking, this is gonna be a long year. But thank God I was able to speed up. During the summer, during the fall, because he challenged me September 4th. So I started walking September 5th, 2011. I started walking down the street. I walked down the street during the fall as long as I could. I was on the front page of the newspaper 2, maybe 3 different times. On the front of the newspaper for walking. But people wanted to know what was going on, what I was doing. And it came to be that people would drive out of their way. On their way to work, they would drive out of their way to see me walking. So that was encouraging. Throughout the winter, we get snow here. And so throughout the winter, you can't walk down the street. So I went and walked in the mall. I made lap after lap after lap. "5 miles a day for the last 3 days. That was a long day. Those were long days. But I was able to walk 365 miles within a year. I had spent the last year of my life walking. Many hours a day, all day. I would walk, and so I was thinking, what am I gonna do when I'm done walking? I mean, this takes up my entire day. What else am I gonna do? So I figured out that I wanted to ride a bicycle, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I can't balance now, but it'll come quickly. So I bought a bicycle and a trainer, and I started riding, and I was like, you know what, I'm doing 10 miles a day for a year. That's nothing. That's 3,650 miles. That's nothing. I could totally do that. Well, I started riding my bicycle on the trainer, and I ended up putting in over 1,000 miles within the first month or two. Probably 2.5 months or so, I think. And I was like, well, wow. But I decided to stop and go back to college. So I unfortunately stopped. But I still have that goal. I still want to get out riding. And this last year, I went out and I bought a tricycle. And I have talked to some friends, and I have another friend willing to do this with me. And we're hoping to leave May of 2020 next year and ride all the way across the United States. Today, some stuff we covered was when I got into the hospital, what happened because I was sitting so much, my tendons shrank. That really hurt when they stretched me. They had to do surgeries to open up my legs so that I can have full use of them. Then we discussed me starting to walk. The first Christmas that I was back home, I tried to walk down the hall, and it took me about an hour to walk 25-30 feet. It was ridiculous. But now I'm able to walk. We talked about my brother's challenge, how he challenged me to walk 365 miles within 365 days. And from September 4th or September 5th of 2011 to September 4th of 2012, that is what I spent my days all day, literally outside walking. But I was able to complete those miles. Then we talked about what I'm looking at doing next year, my bicycle trip. I'm really looking forward to that. One thing I didn't tell you guys is I can walk in a cane now. It's a 4-prong cane, but I can walk in a cane. I'm not stuck in a walker. I have my driver's license. I have my cane. I am fairly independent, so I can do things. It's just at a slower rate than normal. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I took so long and how this is kind of cattywampus, all up and down. Not exactly professional.